I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you'll be lean and mean, just like the woman on the other mic. I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Gina Grad. That's one Mr. Chris Stapleton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're looking for a cowboy on a white horse, I'm not there yet. Yeah, that's what he's purporting in the song. Gina, as I said, we were going to play country songs in all three shows. Folks, Gina and I, we have to group tape. So we do three shows in a row. So we're going to have to find a song for next week, too.
I can't wait.
Gina,
I mean,
let me just tell you this.
Please.
After this show, I want you to just go down the Chris Stapleton rabbit hole.
Okay.
You may never come out the other side.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure I'll recognize a lot of the songs.
Oh, you will. You'll recognize. He's got so many hits.
So that was White Horse, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's White Horse.
Tennessee Whiskey.
Well, you know that one. You will actually know that song.
Yeah, a lot of these sound very familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that might have been one of his first hits.
Yeah, it's from 2015.
Yeah, one of his really big early hits.
And like you, my love of country, when I say I love country music, now of course, as you know, I've gotten into 90s country. So I'm getting caught up to speed, but I'm thinking of Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Dolly Parton, that's what I think of when I think of country. And this new stuff I rejected whole cloth until fairly recently. So I'm getting there.
Well, look, we're going to get into the show, Debbie. Don't worry. But when I was a kid, I grew up on the Outlaws. Waylon Willie.
That's right.
That whole group. Hank Jr.
Hank, yep.
Who was, they started the NFL games with him for years. Yeah, exactly. That's Hank Jr. And so it was the Outlaws. But early on, when I was younger, it was still Bo Cephas and all those guys, that other group, George Strait,
with a lot, that's a different group. Okay.
Yeah.
Conway Twitty.
Yeah. they were all, you got to remember the Grand Ole Opry is kind of snooty, and they wouldn't, the Grand Ole Opry wouldn't allow the Outlaws in,
the rough around the edges. Yeah.
Oh, they're smoking dope. They're getting in trouble, all this kind of, and they weren't really getting in trouble. It was just, they called them the Outlaws. And then it kind of became, it's kind of like that Mandela effect that everyone talks about.
Yep.
It was like, oh, they're outlaws. They're smoking it. Well, Willie Nelson, when his bus went down the road, everyone got high because of smoke coming out of his tour bus. But they were getting arrested for crimes they didn't do. I want to say one of them wrote a song about that.
They were really getting arrested?
Oh, they would arrest them at shows off of, just going, there's got to be dope here somewhere.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, they actually wrote songs about it along the way. But the ones at the Grand Ole Opry, you had to be clean. You had to be like Dolly, George Strait. Who's the one that's married to the actress that everyone loves? He's married to one of the Williams sisters.
Keith Urban with Nicole Kidman?
No. He's with Nicole Kidman. That's the thing. They started marrying Hollywood, right?
Yeah. Well, he's Australian. My God.
The one that's married to the Williams sister. There's two Williams actresses.
Michelle Williams?
No.
Williams.
No, everyone's going, dude, it's...
I know, I hate that.
And he's got a ton of big hits.
Because I'm always the one yelling
he's very clean. He talks about going fishing a lot. And
he's married to... it's going to drive me insane.
Who was Daughter of the Bride? Not Daughter of the Bride.
Hold on.
Yeah,
we're going to figure this out right now. Yeah. Oh, Brad Paisley? With Ashley Williams?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
I wouldn't have ever come up with the name Ashley.
Yeah, we needed to get that figured out immediately.
And she's got a sister who's also an actress. You ever notice if you're a sister and your name is Williams, there's two of you like
Serena and Venus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you're right. It's got, it crossed over many years ago.
Yeah.
And by the way, we I don't know why this just stuck in my craw for a while, and now I'm always bitching at my husband about it. I don't know Keith Urban personally, and I don't know how he grew up in Australia. That being said, how can one of his biggest hits be that he grew up on John Cougar, John Deere, and John 316 in a American Southern accent when he's from Australia?
How indeed.
It almost seems like he's pandering with a really catchy tune.
There was a song called, all these people going country.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of it, but she's gone country. I'll play it by the end of the show. I'll find it.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I'm looking.
so Gina,
Alan Jackson,
is that who it is?
Gone Country.
Yeah, we'll
She's
play it.
playing in a
We'll
room
play
on
enough
Zoom.
of it at the end of the show,
Oh, good.
and you'll know what we're talking about.
Okay. And that's the thing, I'm not even a big country music fan, and I'm irritated by that.
Should we do it right now since we're talking about it, and then we'll get
Yes,
on with the show?
yes, and
All
then
right.
then I have something for you.
All right. Yeah. All right. Here's Alan Jackson, because this is what was going on. When did this song come out, Gina? It had to come out I want to say 2004, 2005. I remember
Hold on.
hearing the song. We'll start playing it so you guys can hear the lyric, acoustic version.
And that's, it was from '94 apparently.
Is that old?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
He
see if I,
commutes to LA, but got a house in the valley.
yeah.
The bills are piling up, and the pop scene just ain't on the rally, and
I
he says,
love
"Honey, oh,
go
this is great.
I
I'm
love
a
the part
serious
where the dude
composer."
is in New York and he's like, this doesn't sound much different than Dylan. You
Oh,
know,
this is great.
yeah, it's one of the best songs about country. Let's see if this is it. That's what I love about country and Western music. They
Great.
get to the point,
Yes,
right?
that's great. That's a great song.
They're not as backwards as they used to be. Everyone always thinks I'll never forget when I got to Tulane, all of these, kids from Great Neck, Long Island,
Mhm.
and Shaker Heights,
Oh,
and
I know what you're saying.
yeah, you get where I'm coming
I
from.
think that's right what you're putting down.
Yeah, the people.
Uh-huh.
They were, they were. Wait a minute, because back then I had a neck that was wider than my head, and
Oh, boy.
the kids on the team called me Link, as in missing link, because I was hairy and looked like an ape. And then but I was interested in school and studying and the whole thing, and I would start talking about things, and I go, "Wait a minute, how do you know that?" And
Yeah, you're not a rube.
it's like, "You grew up on a bayou, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." How did you get this? How do you know this? It's like, I went to a parochial school. I went to a
Yeah.
college prep school.
You're
They have that.
you're
Yeah, they literally think that everyone in the South is so back because that's all they ever heard,
they just think of the opening of the Andy Griffith Show.
or worse. That
Yeah.
actually not so bad. They literally, because politically they think everyone in the South is one way, and the whole thing
Right.
is like, I don't know why you guys. Yeah, and that's kind of the problem we're having in the world today.
100%.
They think, oh, the South. Oh wait, this is a new show. I forgot to change my hats.
Yeah.
Here we go. New show.
Put on different oh, yella.
Here
Look
we
at
go.
that.
So, but yeah, that's what they do,
Yeah.
right? They think, oh wait, these people are backwards.
Yeah.
He
They're
even says
morons.
in a song, oh, they're not as backwards as we thought they were.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you're right.
it's crazy.
Now, if you wanna hear some authentically good country and something that we absolutely cannot play on this show,
Hmm.
and something that I can't even tell you the lyrics to on this show, I hope you will, when your children aren't around, check out Wheeler Walker Jr., who continues to be one of my favorites.
I love it's like he picked up where David Allen Coe dropped
Yeah.
it,
God.
pretty much, except he took it to a new level.
Oh, his song when I go walk at the track, I double check that my Bluetooth is only playing in my earbuds, 'cause I had made that mistake at the grocery store when I had drop 'em out on,
Yeah,
which is about seeing a lady's chesticles.
yeah.
But I love listening to him when I'm walking. It just makes me laugh, and it's good. It's good music.
That's the crazy part. The music is good. The lyrics are
Hilarious.
laugh out loud funny because you're not expecting it to come, and then it comes
Oh, does it?
and it doesn't stop.
Every single song. Anyway, yeah, this is not something for the show, but check it out on your own time with earbuds in.
Yeah. So, Gina, let's get to a show here.
Let's please do that. Okay, so we're always talking about sugar and a lot of these studies, quote unquote, we just love to because it's an embarrassment of riches, everything that the media gets wrong. And then of course, Vinny says what Vinny always says, which is who paid for this study?
Right.
But this is really interesting and it's out of think it's out of UC San Francisco. But and this is probably something that you already knew, but I'd like to highlight it because it's a brand new story, at least to me. This was in the New York Post among a million other places. So we know that too much sugar is bad for us. Everyone's kind of getting that finally. But new research, yeah, from University of California, San Francisco says that even when we eat healthy, even though all the sugar that's in our food that we think is healthy, it is aging our cells in a way that nobody but Vinny probably realized. So this sentence stuck out for me. This talk about burying the lead. This isn't even the point of the story. It says the USDA recommends limiting added sugar to 50 grams a day. That shocked me.
So, what does that mean? Total carbohydrates?
Well,
That's
it's
what we talk about on this show, being less than 50 a day. Total carbs.
right.
Are we talking just sugar?
My guess is that we're talking about just sugar because not everybody's there yet. I don't think everyone's caught up to you completely. I think have your bagel, skip your Coke is probably what they're saying. They said 61.5 grams of added sugar is the average daily intake for everybody, the hundreds of people that participate in the study, mostly around 40 years old. The added sugar accelerated biological aging, even if the sugar was part of their quote unquote healthy diet. And they said eliminating just 10 grams of added sugar from your daily diet might reduce your biological age by 2.5 months over time. High levels of sugar in the blood can damage cells, lead to inflammation, heart disease, diabetes, liver disease, cancer. Vinny, we're getting there. We're catching up slowly.
Okay. Gina, you obviously haven't been paying attention because this show has only been talking about that when we're not
For how
playing
many years?
Western songs for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I'm glad that there are studies that are now saying
Finally
this.
coming.
But there were studies before, but no one was paying attention to them. The same studies that says meat is bad.
Yep.
If you actually looked at it, whenever you're eating any kind of carbohydrate in excess, and the standard American diet is by definition excess. I talked about this on my Instagram a few days ago. At the base of the pyramid, there are 11 servings of grains at the base. And when you go up to the middle level, now you still, there's no protein. The bottom is all grains, 11
Yes.
servings. So that's all sugar. As soon as grains get from your stomach to your liver, it's all converted to sugar, period. Okay. Then you get to the next level, and they want you to have 5 servings of vegetables. Now, not so bad if you're having vegetables and meat, but that's not what they're telling you to do. The next level, they're telling you 5 servings per day of vegetables, right? This is more starch. So now you're adding starch to starch. Now, if all you had was the vegetables, 5 servings is still a lot, but I would go, okay, there's enough fiber in there and there's enough nutrients, phytonutrients. I can squint and go, all right, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Right? And no, I'm not one of these people that think that vegetables are out there conspiring to kill us.
No.
Oxalate because everything has an oxalate in it. So get over yourself. Gundry and all you guys who are trying to scare the fuck out of people. And then on the same line with that, they want you to have 4 servings of fruit. Now you're getting into scary territory because you've had up to 11 servings on the bottom, 5 of this. So you add 4, that's 20 servings of carbohydrates, not per month or per week, per day. Before you got 1 gram of protein, the only thing that your body can use to now rebuild cells. Before you get 1 gram of fat, your body's preferred energy food, your macronutrient.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that until you get to the top tier, and they tell you to moderate that or don't have it at all.
Mm.
Meat and dairy at the top.
And along with fatty oils,
Right.
like olive oil and
Don't
butter.
worry, Gina. I didn't forget about that.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Oh, I
I'm
got
getting.
nervous.
So when you take in carbohydrates at that level, it all turns to sugar by the time it hits your liver. I don't care which registered dietitian told you that somehow complex carbs are different than simple carbs.
Yeah, Vinny, don't worry about it. This is brown rice.
Yeah, this complete bullshit is what it is. And I don't, it drives me nuts on levels you could not possibly believe. So you're getting 20 servings of carbohydrates a day.
Mm.
This is wrecking your cells. People talk about a little something called free radicals. You know what free radicals do within your cells?
What?
They're banging on your cells and rusting them and making them, you're just rusting your cells, right? Making you age faster. Exactly what these geniuses at
Right.
university,
UCSF.
right? Okay. But wait, it's worse. It also starts to rust the cells in your brain.
Mm.
We now see every kind of autoimmune disease that almost didn't exist before.
Yeah.
Parkinson's. How
Hashimoto's,
many
and
people do you know with Parkinson's?
I know a couple.
Yeah, everybody knows a couple.
Yeah.
It used to be you couldn't find them. Now we know people with this.
Yeah.
And think of every other autoimmune disease like Parkinson's. Think about every kid with ADHD and ADD and all of this.
Thyroid issues and
Oh, just down the line. You mentioned Hashimoto's. You can just go down the line. The number of people with colitis, Crohn's, or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Right. All of this stuff is autoimmune diseases that almost did not exist 40 years ago. 30 years ago in 1991 or 2 or whenever is when we got the pyramid. That's when we
Right.
got the more modern day pyramid, right? So if you don't think this stuff is causing problems on levels you can't even imagine, think again. And yeah, if I'm a hammer that's looking for a nail, so be it.
Right. But the nail cannot be ignored. And you know what that made me think of, growing up in the 80s, in the food pyramid, 5 words that I
Mhm.
was exposed to more than any other generation, because this is, I think, where it really got its, I think you may know where this is going. Part of this complete breakfast. And when you saw these cereal commercials, and at the end they had cereal, toast, jelly, and orange juice.
Right.
It was part of your complete breakfast to have this sugar cereal.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have a chance.
Look,
'Cause that
Gina,
was a complete breakfast.
you and I, for a while, we did shows where I tried things that people eat every day.
Yeah,
Like,
you finally threw in the towel.
I was like, I can't even do this anymore because I ate a Pop-Tart and I tasted it on the roof of my mouth. I ate not even a Pop-Tart, a couple of bites. It was like a
No.
film
Yeah.
on the roof of my mouth. And I was like, I'm not damaging my cells. To
No.
make a point here, speaking of which, processed foods. Now, it's not just the carbs by themselves. They're mixing in seed oils. And this show was the first place where Dr. Kate Shanahan started coming on 11 years ago and talking about seed oils. I introduced her to Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. She's been on their shows. I said, you need to get this out to a bigger audience. These people have audiences, right?
Yeah. You know me, if I'm even remotely interested in a subject, I have to join the Facebook group. So
Right.
of course I'm in yours. But I'm also in a couple. One's called Bioengineered Food Awareness, and one is Say No to Seed Oils. And I'm happy to tell you that these are big groups. Like the bioengineered food one is 410,000 people. So people are getting it.
Yeah.
This is not the fringe.
But it's a little, it's too little too late. We need government to come in and change. Look, Kamala Harris, and as you know, I don't do politics here.
No.
This is not politics. But when she was running for president in the last election, she was, in the primary up against Joe
Mhm.
Biden.
Mm,
who eventually chose her as the vice president, as we
right.
know.
The running mate, yeah.
She was on television. I have it in one of my movies. And Kamala Harris is going, yeah, I'm all for meatless Mondays and cutting meat out in the schools. And I'm like, did she really say that out loud?
Mm,
And is she only saying it because she's trying to get votes? Because politicians, I don't care if you're on the right or the left, all they want is votes.
of course.
And they'll say whatever's popular right now. But then she ended up one heartbeat away. She's still one heartbeat away from running this country. Does she actually have that belief, or was she just placating whoever it was on CBS or NBC that day?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I've never heard it since.
me either, because she's too busy being the border. I don't know what she's doing.
Borders are,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what she does. I know she cackles a lot.
Mm,
So now she's running for president. She's the running person,
yeah.
on the left, right? So is she going to implement that? Is that what, and by the way, this is not political. I'm just wondering. And I'm
Yeah.
wondering I know Trump likes to eat hamburgers from McDonald's.
Boy, does he love his fast food, it
Right? So I'm
sounds
not saying one is better than the other,
yeah.
but I don't understand why we even have to have this in an election cycle,
Yeah.
right? We should be talking about different issues. Is she going to do that if she wins?
I think
Makes
it
me
would be
wonder.
well, and that's the thing. What I was just about to say is I think it'd be a pretty low priority issue. But then I thought, how sad is that? Like school lunches and institutionalized food and, epidemic, obesity and sickness is a non-issue. It's a low priority.
Listen, your kid goes to a Beverly Hills school, right?
Yes.
Public school?
Yes.
Okay. When you showed me one day, and folks, I'm not kidding about this. Gina sent me a picture of what her kid brought home
The
that
hall.
that he couldn't eat. And it happened to be a Friday when she sent it. And I said, boy, that was a rough week. And Gina wrote back, and what did you say, Gina?
Oh, no. Day.
That was
They had
today.
today.
And what they name the kind of stuff that was in there? I saw like gummy bear type stuff.
Yeah, and the shelf stable, like, uncrustable, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that look like little, like, empanadas, candy, some shelf stable cheese, chips, like, tasty cake type stuff, like cinnamon rolls, things like that.
And that was for one day.
Sugary, box juice, yeah.
If you said to me, Vin, here's what that kid brought home today, you got 5 days to finish it, I would have trouble.
And this is everywhere. I mean, this is, because in our day, you paid for school lunch. You had your lunch ticket. You had to put money on your lunch ticket. Now, lunch is free, which is a lovely idea. But when your kid who never gets to make any choices of their own because they're kids gets to school and you pack them this beautiful lunch, and that he loves, by the way, we call it Vinnie food.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, I like it Vinnie style. I'll do a cheese and turkey roll-ups and cucumbers and carrots and, stuff he likes." And he's looking at his lunch bag and he's looking at the free offerings. It smells good and it's hot and it's full of butter and, yeah, not real butter, like margarine or whatever. And it's, pasta with breadcrumbs on top. He's going to throw my lunch away because he doesn't have to pay for it. So he just chooses it. And it's kind of, it's so frustrating. I mean, we're spending good money on good food and he eats it at home, but he doesn't have to eat it at school because it's free. He can just take one if he wants one.
It's just so nuts. I mean, we ate at school for lunch and it was like chicken or Salisbury steak, which
Right.
there was some funky stuff in that meat and whatever. But it was hot meals. It was
Yeah.
they literally called it a hot meal.
Hot meal.
And there was a vegetable or two, there was a
Yeah.
starch, and there was a meat dish
Yeah.
every single day, right? And then
Yeah.
I'll never forget, it was the beginning of the show. I want to say Obama was in office. Two things happened when Obama was in office, and I think it was his first term. And I remember saying this to Anna on the show. The first thing was Michelle Obama said, she got the press together and the whole thing. And she goes, we're going to go after big food. We got to get this stuff out of here.
Right.
And I got on the show and I laughed. I said, Anna, I don't know who allowed her to go up and say that, but someone forgot to vet her speech.
Right.
I said, I commend Michelle Obama for doing that, but there's no way she's going to do that. And then 1 week later, Michelle Obama had another press conference. And she said, we're gonna plant a garden. Let's all plant a garden. And I want everyone to drink an extra glass of water per day. And we're going to start exercising.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened to going after all this junk food? See, she spoke out of turn and someone forgot to vet it.
I think you're right. And remember, instead of the big thing was the shape difference. It's not the food pyramid anymore. It's the food plate.
They went
Okay.
to My Plate right around the time a thing called MySpace came around. They went,
Oh, I
let's
remember.
capitalize on MySpace
I don't
and do
remember
My
seeing that.
Plate.
That's funny.
It came up right around 2004 or 5 or whatever. They went,
Wow.
let's make it cool for the kids. So I went, oh, great, My Plate. Let's see what's on My Plate. Oh, it's the pyramid. Except they just put it on a plate.
That's right. It's just a different shape. And whatever happened, I don't know if they still have it. Whatever happened to the presidential fitness challenge during gym class?
Well, when I was a kid, every kid had to do it.
Yeah, we all did it.
It was brought up by President John F. Kennedy.
That was a Kennedy thing?
Everyone's getting soft in this country. We need to get our kids strong. We're going to be left behind. We're getting fat and soft. I can't do a Boston accent.
It's so hard.
The only Boston words I know is wicked smart.
Yeah, my husband does it. I can't do it.
So, yeah, your husband can do every accent. But
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy said, look, we're getting weak. And by the way, we still looked great in 61 when Kennedy was talking about this. But he saw that. He goes, strong bodies means strong minds means, okay, the test still exists today, but no school gives it because they would have to put up with the body shaming, my kid, beep. So they don't do it.
Yeah.
They don't do it because I used to walk around with one of my fancy clients over at the Calabasas track,
Mm-hmm.
right? Beautiful field and the whole thing. The PE teachers, there was 2 of them. It was a male and a female. The bell would ring right at the time me and my client would get there and we would walk a lap, run a lap. She was trying to get in shape. I'm not going to say who the client was, but I was in charge of getting this woman in shape because she was doing a Jenny Craig type commercial. Not Jenny Craig, but one like that.
One of those weight loss systems.
Yeah. So she was the celebrity spokesperson. I lost 50 pounds.
Yep.
And all I did was have one sensible meal or whatever it was. What they didn't say was she had Vinnie 3 hours a day.
She had a trainer. Yeah.
So for a period, we would use that track, and she wasn't very aerobically fit. We jog a lap, walk a lap, jog a lap. That was what I was able to get her to do. And the bell would ring. All of these kids would come out and sit on the infield of the football/soccer field. It was a big giant field. They would just sit there and talk, and sometimes you could smell a little dope, and every now and then you would smell a cigarette or a vape smell.
Sure.
Coming from the group. It would waft off as we would pass by. You want to know what the gym teachers were doing?
Screaming at them to get their asses up?
No. They would walk around the track together and just walk around, and one of them would twirl their whistle on their finger and then twirl it off the other way and wrap it on and twirl it. And they would do maybe 6 or 8 laps, and then the bell would ring and they would go inside and the kids would go inside, and that was PE class. They didn't even try to teach these kids anything because they were sick and tired of trying, they didn't even try anymore. This is Calabasas.
Wow.
Right? Calabasas.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone wants to know, this is where the Kardashians live.
Exactly.
And my daughter went to school in Calabasas, but she went to the hoity-toity private school.
Of course.
But everyone I went to Calabasas High, trust me, they're doing
okay.
Their conveyance there was usually a Range Rover.
Right.
or a Ferrari,
Oh, yeah.
right? This type
Yes.
of school. They didn't even pretend to try to do anything with these kids because they didn't want pushback.
And
These-
because
these
my
kids
first
were
thought was, "What in the hell is wrong with these teachers?" But the more I listen, the more I understand, they were probably just, "You know what? We're so beaten down, we're not gonna try anymore."
It's like, look, I got 2 years to retirement. I don't need parents up my ass because I told their kids to get in a gym outfit.
Yep.
So
Wow.
they're just sitting there going, fuck it, we can't do anything. And here we are. You think you're going to get them to run 600 yards? That's what the
Please.
presidential physical fitness stuff. You think you're going to get them to do 100 sit ups or 25 push ups?
Yeah.
You think you're going to get a girl to do an arm flex hang? That's
No, and
the test.
we did all and, like, the 9-minute walk run and how many laps can you do in 9 minutes, that was a big one.
We didn't have they pussied it down for you guys.
Oh.
We had the 50-yard dash, the 600-yard run, the push-ups and pull-ups, and you had to do a jump. You had to do a broad jump,
Oh,
stand
yeah, this is
broad
like
jump.
field day stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you had to do a bunch of different things to prove what kind of shape you were in.
Yeah.
That's all gone.
Oh, yeah, and my little one, he likes sports and stuff, he's not like a phenom, but he likes doing it, but what he is really good at, he's really fast, and we keep telling him, "Wait until you get to high school and you can do track and field. I think that's where you're gonna shine, and sprinting, and because you're fast." And right now, all he can do is just, be a little kid and be wiggly and annoying, but, have coach, my husband, be like, "Get back over here, stop running around, we're here to do, layups or whatever." But once he's able to run around and maybe win a medal for it, I think things will be different. I think that'll be right up his alley, I hope.
If he likes sports, let him play every sport he wants to play.
Basketball, soccer, baseball, quote unquote karate, even though I've seen this class and I know karate. Yeah, he does it all.
Are they doing the thing like
Yeah, the
uh,
crane.
the crane?
Well, and the fun thing about, my husband is the coach of, soccer and basketball. And the good thing about that is Andy loves basketball. So practices are twice a week. And when it's not practice time, Andy and my stepson are still at the court practicing. They love it.
Well, if they love playing basketball, I mean, the kids, there's 4 kids that live next door. They play
Mhm.
basketball in the cul-de-sac, but they also play, they swim, and they
Oh,
also
yeah.
play uh, lacrosse. They do it all. It's
Yeah.
and I was talking to Teresa Strasser about that. Her kids are good baseball players.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, Teresa, let them play everything.
Yep.
Don't jam them into one sport. The way you
That's
become
true.
better at baseball is to play other sports.
Yes.
It all
Totally. It's like playing an instrument, not they're all gonna you might learn a habit that you gotta, calibrate for something else, but it's all good. And, we have a treadmill here, and I'm always walking on it and watching TV and, chit-chatting, and whenever he gets extra wiggly, instead of being like, "Oh, would you stop that?" I go, "Go get on the treadmill, puppy." And he starts laughing. I'm like, "Just get it out. You're little and your brain, your little synapses are firing, you're feeling wiggly. Go hop on there. Go get it on, puppy." And he starts laughing, and he does.
Listen, the fact that he sees Andy doing what Andy's
Oh,
doing, and the fact that
every day.
you're there on the treadmill, kids pick that up.
Yep.
You don't think they're watching. Tallulah learned so much, and it's like, oh shit, she was really. Who knew she was paying attention? I thought she
Yeah.
wasn't. Right?
Yeah.
They do.
They do. And he loves to be all little boys wanna be the fastest. That's their thing. They just wanna be fastest.
That
So
jump the highest and touch
oh,
something.
of course.
Yeah.
So instead, he always sees me walking like, "Why are you only going 3 miles an hour? I can go 4 miles an hour." "Okay, big guy, show me." He
Yeah.
loves it. So, yeah, and instead because yes, little kids, they're annoying. We all know that. But when he's getting wiggly, I know it's not because he's trying to annoy me, it's because his body just simply can't sit still. So, there's always something we can do about that.
Listen, when they started cutting out recess in PE class,
Oh,
that's when all this ADD and ADHD and kids they can't control. Boys need to run around.
yes. God,
The
yes.
energy. I think about the energy. I remember every time they opened a door for recess down in southern
Oh,
Louisiana, I came back in soaking wet like I'd fallen into a bayou.
yes.
You know, I you know,
Pouring.
and we all did. We
Yep.
all just got as soaked as we just went running around.
Yeah.
So, folks, let your kids run around. That's the moral of this story. Gina Grad, Gina, give them your particulars.
Will do. My book for anyone who knows anyone with a step parent in their life, anyone at all, go get the book My Extra Mom. It's a children's book. It's a family book. It has tons of stuff in the back for games and conversation starters, things that you'll love that every family can enjoy. My Extra Mom, available on Amazon. Of course, just go through vinnietortorich.com, click on the Amazon banner. I'll take you right over there. And for Instagram, many ways to get a hold of me. My name at Gina Grad, my family account at My Extra Family, and my food account, of course, inspired by Vinnie and Anna, grainfreecomfortfood.com.
Go check it all out. Oh, by the way, I think Chris told me that we're still giving that Vinnie discount over at NSNG Foods and the Ultra Fat. I want to say it's 10 or 15. Just put in promo code Vinnie and you'll save money. I keep forgetting to tell you guys that. We decided to keep it going all summer because this is the season where everyone uses the product. Why not let you guys get a good price on it? So go do that. Rate and review this.
I got it. Sorry. I take my zinc and my multi every single day.
By the way,
from you.
I was just with Mike Dawson from the Adam Carolla show. And he reaches into his pocket, pulls out an Ultra Fat. He goes, dude, I don't leave home without 3 of these.
Nice.
3 he goes, I have 3 every day in my pocket.
That's a big compliment coming from the master of Del Taco.
Oh yeah. He is the master of junk food, but he tries to keep it real dumb. All right, folks, you know what to do. Rate and review. We're going to go out on the same song we were playing a little while ago. On behalf of Gina Grad, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with just a little bit more of Mr. Alan Jackson.